Welcome back to Austin, and today's job is, if you can remember from many videos back, take out everything inside of the engine, so the radiator, all the timing gear, everything down this side of the engine has to come out all the way through to the front plate on the engine, so that I can change the oil seal between the block and the gearbox, the half moon seal as it's called. It's going to be a fairly lengthy process, so I'll just skip through it because you've obviously seen many videos of people taking radiators out before. There's nothing fresh. So everything out of here, and then just keep stripping it down, and I'll just do a little bit of video every now and then as I go along. But that's going to be this weekend's task. So let's crack on with it. Okay, some progress, as you can see behind me. It doesn't look like much, but I have battled on and lost some skin in the process. Got the alternator out, part of the radiator, all the water's drained out of it, a few bits and pieces disconnected at the back. So the next job is to get the rest of the radiator out fully, but things are that tight in here that I'm severely wishing I'd taken the engine out. The only reason I didn't was because I got the exhaust to fit and seal nicely for a change. But now I'm wishing I'd taken the whole thing out, because it just comes out in one go and it's so much easier. The issue now I've got is I've got such a tight gap between the fan and the radiator. The only way to get it all out is to take the fan blade off, and you know, it's just really tight for space. So all I've got to do really, all I can do is battle on, get it all disassembled, and just see how it'll come on. Just fight on with it really. Okay, that's going to be it for this shift. All the radiators out, everything out, including the pulley bolt, which we got out by putting the car in gear and foot on the brake, stopping it from moving. So I've got that out, but I haven't got a bearing or a puller with me to pull the bottom pulley off. So that's going to be it for now. Next bit of footage will be perhaps pulling that off, and then I've got all the timing cover to take off, the timing chains, and then the front plate. So fun. Okay then, so that's the pulley out. As you can see, it was a bit of a ball ache. What would normally happen is that being the end of the engine with that bolt in there, and then you would put the puller on like so, pressing against the end of that bolt. But doing that, there's no room in the engine bay between where the pulley would normally sit and the inner wing in there. So what I did was I made a spacer, which is what that is. That is one of the thick exhaust manifold washers, and then I slimmed it down, if it'll focus. Never mind, I slimmed it down so that it fit on the nose or the end of the crank, whatever you want to call it, and that just sits in there, and that meant that the puller was sitting against the washer, sort of like, this is awkward with one hand, so the puller was sitting on against the washer, and that allowed the puller to grab either side of the pulley, and then the pulley itself slid past that spacer, which was the slimmed down washer, and then it just gradually popped off. So now I've got that done, I've got to work in there and get the timing cover off next, and then the timing chain and all the gears off the end of the camshaft and the crank. Right, progress report. The front plate is off, you saw me take that off. So I've started cleaning up all the gasket faces in here now, and I've started taking out the remains of the sealant that was in where the old half moon seal is, which is in there between the gearbox and the main bearing there. So what I'll do is I'll call it a day at that, and then next weekend we'll be back again and I can start reassembling it once I've got it fully clean. There's just a little bit more crap to take out of that joint in there, but the rest of it's pretty clean. And obviously this week while I'm at home I can clean up the front plate and the timing cover and get all the remains of gasket and goo off those ready to reinstall.